Hey guys, welcome back to Glam Finds, and I'm here with another decant review because I've kind of been focusing on those lately. I've been also letting you choose, so from the house of Louis Vuitton, it's Louis Vuitton Meteor. So when I bought my Louis Vuitton decants, I bought them a couple of years ago. This is the only one that they didn't have available. So I bought this one about a year ago. It's kind of evaporating a little, but I've used it a good amount. But let's go ahead and talk about Meteor. I'm going to read you the notes and I'm going to tell you what I actually smell. So you have top notes of mandarin orange, Sicilian orange, and Calabrian bergamot, mid, pink pepper, Indonesian nutmeg, pepper, neroli, cardamom, and then a base of Java vetiver oil. So this gets compared to Azzaro Chrome a lot. I don't get that. I do get the comparison in terms of their versatility because I find that they're both very versatile. This, what I really don't get the citruses that much. Like, I get a really nice, fairly fresh fragrance, but I get like the pink pepper, I get the neroli, I get like the spices and kind of like that woody background from the vetiver. The only thing that I think that I can compare it to, which I don't think a lot of people have smelled, is Fragrance du Bois Solstice. I think they have similarities. I don't think they're one for one, but I think they're a lot more similar than Chrome and this. And I really like this one specifically on skin. It's got this like really nice, like kind of come hither appeal, I would say. I mean, I don't think it's a secret. I really enjoy pink pepper. I think it's like one of the sexiest notes in fragrance. So when you're adding pink pepper and cardamom and neroli, it makes for a very pretty fragrance and something that is going to draw people in. So that's what it is. It's just like a really easy to wear, in my opinion, spicy, kind of woody fragrance. And I love how it comes off of skin. At least on my skin, it has like just a subtle sweetness to it. I don't find it to be a sweet fragrance, but it has this like really nice subtle sweetness to it that I really enjoy. I'm sure that's kind of like those citruses coming out because I really am not specifically getting citruses. It's a really easy to wear, fresh, but not too fresh. Again, like everyday fragrance. If you don't like the spices that I mentioned, you may not be the biggest fan. But I think they play with the neroli so well and make this fragrance so elevated and classy. So, performance. People knock the Louis Vuitton performance a lot. I get more than a full workday out of this. So longevity is really good. In fact, I get typically over 10 hours with with all of my Louis Vuittons, or most of my Louis Vuittons. Projection is like you get a good scent bubble. So it's about an arm's length for several hours. It is never a beast off of my skin, but I kind of like that about these fragrances. I think that they perform exactly the way that they're supposed to perform. People are going to smell you. It's just never going to assault their nose. I think Louis Vuitton uses a lot of naturals, and I think that's why it doesn't push out too far, but it's also why it smells so good. In terms of sillage, I think you get a really beautiful sillage cloud for pretty much most of the wearing experience. I would actually say sillage is a little above average. I want to say it's above average. Projection is also a little above average. Just because you can't smell it doesn't mean the people around you don't smell it. Again, absolutely not a beast, but you're going to get an arm's length, so your scent bubble is going to smell really good. So I got at least an arm's length for 2 to maybe 3 hours, but the sillage was still going later in the day when I wasn't really smelling it all myself. Again, Louis Vuittons get knocked on their performance, but just because you're just not assaulting somebody's nose with your fragrance doesn't mean it's not a good performer. It just means it's a little bit more natural, and I think more than likely people are going to enjoy it a little bit more. At least in my experience, I prefer a more natural smelling fragrance. In terms of who can wear it, this I think would lean a little to the masculine. In fact, if you were going to say like between this and Solstice, if you wanted something that leans slightly more feminine in my book, but still also unisex, I'd go Solstice. If you want something that leans slightly more masculine, I'd go Meteor. I think that, again, it leans slightly more masculine. And I do think that maybe because it's not a very sweet fragrance, it leans slightly more mature. I think of all the Louis V's in the clear glass, I think this one would probably lean the most mature. And Imagination would probably lean a little bit more youthful than the rest. Yeah, I'd probably say it like that. Not too mature. I'm like 20 plus. I just don't think it's like super youthful or anything like that. And in terms of seasons, to me, this is all season. Like, yeah, it may be better spring through fall, but you could absolutely wear it in the winter. This just is such an easy to wear everyday fragrance. Like if you were just looking for a daily driver, this is it. Date night, work, formal, casual. There's literally nothing that I think this one can't do. This was the first one that I considered getting a full bottle of prior to Imagination, prior to Lamensite. And depending on the day, right now, like Lamencite's my favorite. Sorry, you guys get so upset. Lamensite is my favorite, but I kind of go back and forth between Lamensite, Imagination, and Meteore. Imagination's actually number 3 of the 3 right now. It was number 1 for a while, but I don't know. I think for me, it's Lamensite, Meteore, and Imagination at this point in time. In terms of compliments, I do get compliments with this one. Not a ton, because again, I think typically people prefer a little bit of a sweeter fragrance, but for this type of versatility, I would say it gets more compliments than a lot of other things in this class. It will get you compliments. I mean, obviously not guaranteed. I can never guarantee that. But it is, of the times I've worn it, I've gotten compliments several times. In terms of price point, you guys already know the 100 ml is like around $330, I think, for Louis Vuitton. So it's the price of entry. It is what it is. Do I think that it's worth it? I think that I can't answer that question for you. And I've gone back and forth. But the thing is, I can get the decants for like such a great price in the Facebook groups that for me, when I finish a 10 ml, I'd rather just get another 10 ml because it takes me like, for most of them, again, I've had them for probably like 4 years and I haven't finished any of the 10 mils. Lamensite, I went ahead and bought another 10 mil of. I don't know if I'll ever need it, but again, I've been wearing it a lot lately, so why not? If you've tried this fragrance, comment down below. Let people know what you think. As always, remember to like this video. If you liked it, be subscribed to my channel. Hit that notification bell to get notified when I drop another video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!